What's good, you guys? We were back with another video, and today I want to talk about two very important things that's happened in the NBA world in the past couple of days, and that is the LeBron legacy talk. With this first round coming up, and he may lose, I'm still hoping for a dub because I'm a LeBron fan and LeBron supporter. But what if LeBron James loses in the first round? How does that affect his legacy? And also, we're going to be talking about the Boston Celtics fiasco, Brad Stevens moving up, and Ainge moving out. So if you like this type of content, like and sub on the video if you haven't already. Let's get right into it. Let's start off with the Boston Celtics news that's happened the last couple of days. If y'all don't know, Danny Ainge retired, and Brad Stevens, a longtime coach, the coach that was looked at to be the new generation's great coach, now moves with the president of basketball operations. He was supposedly tired of being a head basketball coach any longer. And I don't know how I feel about that, to be honest, because if Tyronn Lue, Nate McMillan, with some other good black head coaches, Monty Williams, any of those people were tired of being a basketball coach, they wouldn't have any job in the NBA because they have to prove themselves. And although Brad Stevens did pretty good as a basketball coach, and I see people saying that he failed on Twitter, which he didn't. He was at 3 Eastern Conference Finals with under talented teams. Like Isaiah Thomas was on the team, but Avery Bradley, before Jason Tatum got there. That wasn't a great team. They got to the conference finals though. So I'm not saying Brad Stevens is a bad coach, but you being tired and getting erased from being tired of being a bad coach after getting bounced in the first round is very, very interesting to me. And it shows how big connections are in the NBA. I already knew that, but just showed me to a different level. And hopefully he can do good as president of basketball operations, maybe have a better connection with the players as he was a coach at one point, and maybe that's better for free agency moves, for anything like that. So hopefully it works out for him. It's just really weird to me because if you're tired of something, you get out of it fully, right? You don't go to something else that most likely pays you more money, you know? So that was just kind of weird to me. After him being touted as like the next great coach, 3 years later, he's tired of coaching. It's just like okay. We'll see who will fill that spot. They're saying Lloyd Pierce and Jason Kidd are the leading candidates, but then a report came out that Evan Turner was the leading candidate. He came out and said that that's not true. But Jason Tatum said that he was hoping that was true. He probably has a good connection with Evan Turner, most likely, because Evan Turner is a former player. And that'd be a nice... Brad Stevens as a president of basketball operations, it would be a connected group. Like, they're connected because Brad Stevens is a coach. He knows those players on a more personal level than Danny Ainge probably did. So it's probably a better connection higher up. And you have Evan Turner that was an actual player and was a pretty smart player. I'm not sure how he is as a coach, but I feel like he'd be good for morale and things like that after these big moves that's happened recently. There's going to be a lot of moves in this offseason, so we're going to see how Stevens handles that and who he picks. I hope it's not Lloyd Pierce because we just saw how he was in Atlanta, so I don't think that's a good idea. Jason Kidd, I'm not sure. He developed Giannis to the player that he was today. Can he... I don't think Jason Tatum needs developing though, so because he's there, he's him, like he's that guy already. So I'm not sure how much developing he needs. They just really need more pieces around Tatum and Brown. Brown needs to be healthy. Walker needs to be better. Things like that. But yeah, that's all I got for that situation, man. Now let's talk about the LeBron legacy conversation. It's gonna be a big conversation if LeBron gets bounced in the first round, because I'm pretty sure that would be the first time he ever lost in the first round. I'm about to go check, but man, it do something to his legacy. Because here's the thing, I was the guy coming into this playoffs. I said that in my 5 prediction video. I think 5 big storylines coming into the NBA playoffs. If LeBron James makes the finals and beats the Nets and gets that 5th ring, I feel like he'd be the GOAT. Because although it's 1 ring less than Michael Jordan, that 3-1 lead that the Warriors had on him, and he came back and won that ring, and this Nets ring, that's 2 super teams that he beat. That's a pretty good resume, I'm not gonna lie. But now we're basically the exact opposite of that thing happening, him getting beat in the first round. Now, how does that affect his legacy? I'm not sure if that drops him down to 3. Maybe he just stays the same and probably will never catch him after this because he's running out of time, most likely. I don't think it negatively affects him because I feel he has a big lead on anybody that you think is 3. But if he doesn't get this, I don't think he can ever be the GOAT. Especially if he loses in the first round. Maybe if he loses in the conference finals, he still has a chance or something like that. But he can't lose in the first round, bro. Especially this late in his career. I'm about to check on all the legends' first round losses, but I think this is probably like, I don't think MJ, Kobe, or any of those guys in like later in their career, but like before Kobe got hurt and stuff, were losing in the first round. I'm not sure about that. Like in these later years, they're getting more to the conference finals and finals. Like I know MJ scored 63 against the Celtics, against like the 85 Celtics, and lost in the first round. But the Celtics were like one of the best teams of all time, and Michael Jordan was an 8th seed on that team, still playing great, but just didn't have enough talent to win. But this late in your career, this is not good for LeBron's legacy. Now, I just look like at a couple all-time greats that are close to LeBron in the rankings. Michael Jordan, not only did he lose to the Boston Celtics one year where he scored 63, he lost to them another year right after that, and also lost to the Milwaukee Bucks in his first year in the playoffs. So the first 3 years that he was in the playoffs, he lost in the first round. But like I said, he was a young player. It's more excusable than LeBron losing in his 16th, 17th year. You know what I'm saying? 18th year, I mean. Like he was playing Sidney Moncrief and those boys in the first round. Then Larry Bird, 2 years in a row they lost. Now Kobe Bryant, 2006 and 2007 he lost to the Phoenix Suns in the first round. Steve Nash and the crew, that was a really, really, really good team. And it's kind of deja vu that LeBron may lose to the Phoenix Suns in the first round as well. Now that was more of like a mid-career thing for Kobe Bryant. That's right before he, at the end of his career with the Boston Celtics series in the finals. At the end of his career, that was kind of in the middle after Shaq left and he was scoring like 35 points per game. That was the time that he lost, and that was probably the worst team that he had. He didn't lose early in his career because he had Shaq, you know what I'm saying? So it was kind of hard to lose in the first round with Kobe and Shaq. And Kareem Abdul-Jabbar lost to the Golden State Warriors in 73 with Rick Barry in the crew. So it seems like a lot of these all-time greats have took some L's in the first round, but not a lot have took the L's late in their career. More experience, more veteran. That's what I'm talking about. LeBron's L this year will kind of be an outlier, I'm not going to lie to you. The best comparison and the closest thing to LeBron getting a first-round loss in his 18th season, the closest comparison I got is also another guy, Magic Johnson. His only first-round loss came when he came back from, he played in 91, he came back in 96, and he lost in the first round to the Houston Rockets with Hakeem Olajuwon and company. Now, he was not even close to as good as a player that LeBron is this year, and probably not as big as a piece, but he still lost. I mean, that's the closest thing I got. That was his last season at the very end of his career, losing, not getting to the finals, things like that. That's probably the closest comparison I have for LeBron, but that's a totally different circumstance. He was put out of the league because he had a disease. He came back later, probably more out of shape, just not as good of a player, and he lost. And LeBron is still in his prime shape, you know, although probably not 100% with the ankle injury, but he's a way better player than Magic Johnson was. But that's the closest comparison I have, because a lot of the other greats, at the end of their careers, they were either not making the playoffs because they were hurt or injured, or they were making the finals trying to put their legacy in place. Like Michael Jordan, his last year before he went to the Wizards, he won the NBA Finals, and I don't know why he just retired. That would have been super dope going out on that, but he just had to go to the Wizards, I guess. But yeah, man, that's all I got for you guys today. It was really cool looking up some of the greats and seeing how they did in the first round, because we want to talk about first round, second round losses. We're always talking about the finals losses with LeBron James, but we don't talk about how Michael Jordan has more first round losses. And does that matter? I'm not sure. Does that matter in the total scheme? But I feel if you're going to point out LeBron's flaws, it always seems like Michael Jordan's looked at the most flawless player ever, and I don't think that's the case, although he is a great one. That's all I got for you guys today. If you like this type of content, like us up on the video if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys next time.